Okay, thank you. Good evening, advocates from Africa. I am Nawasa Innocent, and I'm the Thrive Africa Senior Co-Manager. And welcome to our first webinar for this accelerator, the Thrive Africa Vegan School Lunch Accelerator 2023. We are back again, actually 2025. The first one was in 2023. The theme of this year is a plant-based Africa, planting health and sustainability on every school plate. And I'd like to take you through our objectives. Our objectives will be how to design and implement a vegan school lunch campaign, best practices for menu planning and nutritional balance, effective community outreach and advocacy strategies, turning advocacy into measurable action at every school level. And meet your facilitator, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone here. I am Nawasa Innocent. I believe most of you know me or you've met me, but if you've not met, so this is me and this is what I can say about me. So what have we planned for today's session, or why vegan school lunch? Now let's look at the importance of plant-based school meals. First of all, we're going to look at health benefits. A well-planned vegan school lunch provides essential nutrients, promotes balanced nutrition, and helps prevent common lifestyle diseases. And these heart diseases, diabetes, obesity, and so much more. So by emphasizing whole foods like fruits, vegetables, legumes, grains, students receive a diet that is rich in fiber, in vitamins and minerals, and of course, supporting the overall health of students. Two, sustainability. Shifting to plant-based school meals significantly reduces the environmental footprint of food production. Now, you can compare this to for those that know the environmental impacts of animal agriculture and things like that. And the animal agriculture is one that's not very sustainable in term when it comes to the environment. That's what I'm trying to say. And also compassionate choices. We are promoting compassionate choices by encouraging plant-based meals in schools. Now, this aligns with ethical and animal rights principles. Teaching students about human food choices fosters empathy and a deeper understanding of how their food choices impact animals and the environment, and of course, their health. Culture relevance, and of course, and affordability. Vegan school lunches can be tailored to incorporate locally sourced plant-based ingredients that align with your country's culinary traditions. So if you're in Uganda and you're trying to introduce plant-based lunches and you're trying to pick notes from Ghana, it may be tricky. So try to make it culturally relevant because our cultures are different and very unique. And okay, what is we can also look at transform. Why do we want to transform school lunches in Africa anyway? And first of all, I would like to appreciate EAAW, Ayubu and team. Thanks for this amazing photo. I love the food. When you see the fruits, I think those are cabbages, and then you're seeing beans, and then you're seeing rice. I think it's a whole balanced diet. So let's look at transforming school lunches across Africa. Empowering activists to lead campaigns across Africa. And I believe most of us here, we would be happy if we saw you leading different campaigns, school lunch campaigns across Africa. You are our voice out there as Thrive. You are the activists. Now, this campaign requires passionate advocates, of course, like you and me, to drive meaningful change within the schools. We hope through the different webinar series, by providing training, resources, and strategic guidance. Of course, through this whole accelerator, because we're planning to have the school lunch in June, So we're hoping you learn lots of skills, And of course, as activists, you're gonna play a crucial role in ensuring school lunches are veganized. We can look at creating sustainable, locally relevant vegan food opportunities. I must emphasize this. Ensure that the food is locally relevant. When I look at this picture, it is from Tanzania, but yeah, this food is locally relevant in Uganda as well. And it is local food. I can see it's healthy, it's a balanced diet, and maybe this may not be very relevant, let's say in South Africa or maybe in the UK. So those are some of the things that we look at when we are talking about school lunch. Reducing industrial animal agriculture and its environmental footprint. You must know that industrial animal agriculture is a major contributor to deforestation, greenhouse gas emissions, excessive water use, and soil degradation across Africa and globally. And for those who come from some countries that are semi-arid, we've had instances where, let's say, cows are sharing water with humans. There's competition for such resources. So those are some of the challenges that come with animal agriculture. So by replacing animal-based school meals with plant-based alternatives, schools directly contribute to reducing the demand for factory-farmed animal products, which in turn lowers carbon emissions, preserves biodiversity, and conserves the natural resources. So when we are trying to engage schools, encourage them to go plant-based, we need to talk about the environmental footprint. It is very key, and these are education institutions, and they are definitely learning these things. And we can look at when you are planning, this school lunch, think about involving schools and the local leadership. I don't know how it works in your countries, but I can easily give an example of Uganda. The local leadership is the district education officer. It is the district inspector of schools, and many others, depending on where you come from. So it's good to involve them. And of course, like the Ministry of Health. And also, I'd like to appreciate GYC for this amazing, beautiful photo, looking at those children smiling and holding those placards. Oh, it's quite encouraging. So thank you so much. So schools and local leaders definitely play a crucial role in shaping nutritional policies and meal programs. Government endorsement is very key. It's very important. And of course, school participation. All these ensure long-term adoption and policy integration for plant-based school meals. You need to find out the policies in your country. Who decides on what students should consume? Is it individuals? Is it government? It could be different when it comes to public schools or private schools. So all that's the research you need to do prior as you think of introducing your vegan school lunch program in the school you're selecting. Now, who are the key stakeholders? This could be school administrators, they could be teachers, they could be nutritionists, and children, of course, because if they reject your food, then you're going to have trouble. And of course, the parents, teachers associations, or the school board. If you have a Ministry of Education in your country, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Agriculture, because we're talking about plant-based foods. So involving like Ministry of Agriculture, that is very key in having a very successful vegan school lunch campaign. Two, you need to understand the benefits of vegan lunches. That is very key. And you need to be ready to share them with relevant stakeholders. Here, what are the benefits of vegan school lunches? I already talked about the health benefits. Some of the health benefits, of course, things like obesity, diabetes, hypertension, mostly non-communicable diseases. So you need to talk about the health benefits. And everyone wants a healthy child. The parent, the government, the school, they want healthy children. So always emphasize health benefits. Sustainability, I already talked about it, but always insist on it. Cost effectiveness. One thing you must know is like, as you're trying to pitch a vegan school lunch campaign, I would like you to know that these schools are already comfortable with what they are doing. So unless you're coming up with a cheaper option, they may not listen to you. So try to talk about cost effectiveness. And in some instances, I advise activists, if you know local farmers or local farmer groups, you can see how you can connect them with schools so that it's easy for them to source food, because probably they're already connected with some butcheries or some the chicken farms who are supplying them with eggs and all that, farmers who are supplying them with milk. And to get them out of that comfort zone, it is better when you talk to these schools about where can they source these products. It is good for the farmers as well. So try to create this linkage. I encourage you to, if that is possible, it is a good thing. And organize awareness sessions like workshops. host meetings, workshops, or pilot meal testing sessions for schools and relevant officials. You're coming up with an idea. It's on paper, but when you do a pilot, when you host a workshop and probably invite district education officers, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture, the school leadership, you're able to pitch your case and they'll be able to understand what you are working on and how relevant and how important it is for the people, for the planet, and for the animals. And also, you can share successful case studies from other schools implementing plant-based meals. If you're going to pioneer this or you want to do it for the first time, you can always reach out to Thrive Africa and ask for if we know organizations that have done this in your countries, and maybe we could recommend, or you can also reach out to me because through my local organization, Uganda Vegan Society, we have been doing a vegan school lunch for quite some time. So we can always share case studies, and that is good. You're coming to school, or even to your government, you're telling them, let's go for plant-based dishes because of these reasons. Where has it worked? What if we replace maybe meat with beans, and then parents take away their children? You have to be able to argue out your case. You need to, like the first step of all this is having a whole concept note, visualize this, and have a work plan. And then you can start. Now I'm telling you about the things that you can have in your work plan. You can provide training. You can go to these schools and let's say you want to work in 5 schools, start with one, pilot it, provide training to the cooks, give them meal plans, give them menus, talk to the teachers. All this will ensure like a whole smooth process. Advocate for policy integration. I already talked about working with government. Work with government and local leaders, include plant-based meals in the national feeding priorities. Do you have like dietary guidelines in your country? Do you have like school feeding programs? Who is in charge of that? How can you engage them so that there's a whole integration of inclusive diets for children? Inclusive, what I mean is plant-based. And by the way, do not feel discouraged if you go to school and they're not ready to transition right away. It can start by replacing one animal, one lunch, which was probably meat, or they can start by replacing breakfast. Instead of egg, they replace maybe with I don't know, maybe with fruits. So do not be discouraged. It's step after step. So just try pilot this, encourage them, and tell them, how it can be. But the best thing to do is if it comes in as a policy, as a government policy, but also depends on how systems work in your country. Schools could be independent. So think about what works in your country. Identify the schools, research about their school lunch, identify schools in your region that are open to introducing vegan lunches, because, you don't want to hit a dead end. Like you approach a school, they're completely not interested in your project. And you spend, the whole year of your project trying to pitch to these schools. So find out the school. That's why I said you want to target 10 schools, 08 to 5, from 508 to 1, pilot it in one school. Work with people, schools that are actually ready for this, and then at least you'll have a case study for maybe the second year of your project. And then also reach out to education officials. If they understand your campaign, if they understand your policy, they'll probably support you or even give you recommendation letters to go to those schools. So look out for education officials, Ministry of Health, Ministries of Agriculture. They can support you in all this. See how you can partner with expert nutritionists and dietitians and relevant government departments to strengthen the campaign impact. First of all, who are you? I am Nabasa Innocent. So what? But if I start with the Ministry of Agriculture, we are a non-government organization. Our interest is this. Our interest is the health of children. It's our planet. Our interest is the animals. Okay, the Ministry of Agriculture definitely is interested in that. And then imagine having a recommendation letter on plant-based dishes from the Ministry of Health and going to schools. It will be easy, and in one way or another, they can easily respect that. So depending on what works in your country, it could be different when it comes to private schools, but try to see how you can work with your government, with your local leadership, and of course, the school leadership, depending on what works in your country. And then also, when developing relevant vegan school lunch dietary guidelines, it's important to consider the nutritional needs of growing children. Also, while ensuring that the meals are balanced, they are diverse and appealing. Appealing is very key. When you look at that photo, you can see color. I can see a carrot, a cucumber. I think that's an onion. I can see a bell pepper. like it's color. Children love beautiful food. For the parents who are here, you know that when you spice up that plate, the children will come running, but just make it green. No one is going to enjoy your food. So try to make sure that you think about such things, but include all the dietary guidelines or the nutritional benefits to children. Aim for well-balanced meals that include a variety of food groups. Ensure that each meal contains a source of protein, because protein is very key, and very many people are consuming meat because they are looking for protein. So what are the alternative proteins? There are legumes. There is tofu as a meat alternative. You can look at carbohydrates like whole grains, starchy vegetables, very healthy. Consider healthy fats, nuts, seeds, avocados, and good selection of fruits and vegetables. By the way, let me tell you something that has worked for us here in Uganda. When we go to some of these local schools and we find out that they have land, we encourage them to grow their own food. Now, that makes it very affordable. And also, it's a learning activity. Like, I mean, these children are always learning. I could give an example of my children. Most of the times they tell them plant a maize. So they look for a bottle, put in soil, put in a maize seed, and they watch it grow. So imagine they have a garden which they can use for learning purposes. So think about that as well. And again, thanks. I think this is also from EAAW. Thanks for this amazing photo. It speaks volumes. Thank you so much. So think about engaging experts. I think that's an expert chef. Look at how she's serious, how she holds the knife and everything. Look at the expertise she puts in cutting that watermelon. Engage with experts, consult with nutritionists, dietitians, and other experts in the field to gather information and guidance on vegan nutrition for children. They can provide valuable insights into the specific nutritional requirements and potential challenges associated with vegan diets in school eating. Yes, potential challenges. Like I said, not every vegan meal is healthy. For example, French fries. So think about how to keep it healthy. And we may not know, because if we are not experts, but dietitians and nutritionists know how to keep it healthy. For example, we've heard that bread is bad, but there's whole wheat bread. It's healthy, it is good. How do you make it taste better for these children? Probably add an avocado, bell peppers, or some tomatoes, things like that. And then how and who joins this campaign? All of you can join this campaign. But how do you join this campaign? One, you can register for the June campaign. We're going to have a whole month of vegan school lunch. Why do we do a whole month? Because different schools have different programs, So we shall, from 1st June to the 30th of June, we shall be celebrating this. And later, I will definitely share a registration link. I can ask one of my colleagues, Precious, if you could help me share the registration link in case some of you are not yet registered. We have you in our database, and that's why most of you have been receiving our newsletters. So you can register. When you register, you receive a link to register for the Zoom meetings, and you register once, and then also a link to join our WhatsApp, because we're always posting updates. So anyone can join. An organization can join. Individuals can join, as long as your interest is promoting vegan school lunches. And by the way, it's outdoor and it's about to start raining. So in case you hear noise, just know I'm in Africa, and our weather is quite unpredictable sometimes. The bigger picture. So I would like to let you know, and this is good news. Our next grant deadline is on the 1st of March, a few days from now. Some of you must be already aware, but in case you aren't, that's our next grant deadline, and I'm going to share the link. I encourage all of you to apply, but of course, the grant is not guaranteed. It's all about the kind of proposal that you've shared and so much more. But I'm going to share the link, and I encourage all of you to apply. The 2025 Thrive Africa School Lunch theme is a plant-based Africa, planting health, that is key, and sustainability on every school plate. This joint campaign will take place from the 1st to the 30th. You need to mark that date. From now, this is our first webinar up to June, we shall be engaging. Some sessions are going to be live, like today's session, and other sessions will not be live. We'll be sharing recordings, but I encourage you to watch them, because from each recording, you definitely learn something. And our goal is to reach hundreds of thousands of people, amplifying the vegan food justice movement across the African continents. And sessions to look out for. This is our first session. We're going to have our second webinar on the 20th of February called Promoting Compassionate School Lunches. Our third webinar is going to be on the 27th of February. Master the craft, acquire the skills to design and implement successful vegan school lunch. Our fourth webinar is on the 6th of March. So mark your calendars for these webinars because it would be good. I see we have started with an amazing attendance. I wish all of you can be there because every session builds up on one and we'll definitely learn something. Okay, thank you so much. And this is, I would like to invite you to our second webinar, which is on the 20th of February, which is next week. And I'm open to your questions. Now, this is my email, nabasa.innocent@thrivephilanthropy.org. So guys, like I said, it's starting to rain. So like everyone has come to where I am because there's shelter. I apologize for that. But let's move on to your questions. Thank you so much. And I'm going to stop recording so that we can freely ask our questions. Thank you so much, Nabasa Innocent. And I'm coming to you live from Uganda. And I'm open to your questions.